be writing captions. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to shoot videos, you would have to uh, jump up and down creating content for all of them. Content writing could include writing captions, designing graphics, filming or editing short videos. It could be yes, that's basically what content creation is all about. So if you ever stop scrolling because a post caught your eyes, that is what content creation done right. That's what content creation gone right. Are you with me, guys? I don't want it to look like I'm talking to myself. Are you with me? I'm sorry, I'm working with multiple screens. Okay, Aziza, please, maybe you would have to rejoin if you're not seeing my screen, please. I think you'd have to rejoin, okay? All right, then let's move ahead. Now, planning and scheduling. As a social media manager, a professional way of, now, like I said, the first job I had, because I was a newbie, I had no idea on what planning and scheduling is. I just come to the office the next day and say, "Oh, what am I posting today?" You get. So that's what makes you different as a social media manager. You don't wake up one morning and say, "Okay, what am I posting today?" Oh, today's Mother's Day. Oh, I forgot, and then you now start creating, content or planning a social media post. A proper social media manager is supposed to plan their content 2 or 3 weeks before the new month. You're supposed to plan your content. Please, can you see my screen? Who else to see my screen? Please just give a thumbs up if you see my screen. Okay, Yakubu can see my screen. Who else can see my screen, please? Coinsola can see my screen. If you can't see my screen, please restart your. You have to log out and come back in again, please. All right.
Hello.
Literally don't have to, I don't have to use 2 weeks to plan my content. And as it is, I work with a team at the moment because I'm working on my own agency. But that's not a topic for discussion. You'd have to plan content. Okay, for the month of March, we've celebrated Women's Day twice, yeah. Now, when creating your calendar, that's where content calendar comes in under planning and scheduling. You have to plan ahead. Okay, for the month of March, we are going to post this, we are going to post this, we are going to post this. You would have to identify key dates such as this. Okay, we have International Women's Day on so date. Once your calendar has been prepared, has been put together, mind you, while creating a calendar, it's not a guesswork. Creating your calendar is not a guesswork, all right? You have to be strategic about it. You have to plan your calendar according to your brand, the brand you're working with, their goal. All right. If a brand's goal for the month is okay, this month we're only trying to make sales, you have to mix your content calendar with a bit of promotional and maybe educational content or a little bit of um, entertaining content. Yeah. Now, there's a frame at which you mix your content pillars, right? You have to use your content pillars, but that will be discussed maybe later on. But for now, you should know that as a proper social media manager, you have to plan and schedule. And then let's go to community engagement. Now, this involves you actively present, in the DMs, comment section. That's the only way you can create a community, right? Replying to comments, responding to DMs, liking posts from, followers. This is what turns your followers into what? Into loyal customers. You see some companies, they have very bad customer service. And let me tell you, for every big brand that they either have a social media manager or they do not have a social media manager. Now, for a brand that has a social media manager, your duty is to respond to their DMs. Your average time for response as a social media manager on a client's DM is 2 minutes. Anything less, more than 2 minutes is very, very bad. It is not ideal. So you have to put all your notifications on at you have to be at speed. All right. You have to engage. Once you are seeing a client, once maybe you've sent out a post and there is a comment under the post you've made, respond to it under 2 minutes. If you're available at the time, once that message is coming in, you attend to it. That way, you are building a community, which is very essential for a brand. Building a community. If you go to UBS comment section, you will see that UBA has built a community. If you go to sellers comment section, you see that seller has built its community. If you go to Chicken Republic, you see that Chicken Republic has built its community. And if you notice, each of their comment section, they are always responding to customers, DMs or whatever. They're always actively responding to their comment section, and that is your duty as a good social media manager. All right. So then analytics and reports. This is the only what do I say, mathematical aspect of social media management. All right. So you just have to. This is very essential for brands because at the end of the month you have to submit a report. You have to see how the platform that you manage performed for the month. You need to see the number of people that liked. You need to see the number of people that shared your post. You need to see the number of comments. You need to see the number of likes, and you need to see what post performed better. That way, you improve your next month content, and it is very very important in the growth of your client page. All right, it stops the whole guesswork, right? Because if you post, let's say for a week, you post four different type of content, and you notice that one particular post is doing better, and you try it again. In social media management, we call it recycling. We recycle content, right? If today that post came in as a video content, maybe in 2 weeks time or in a month's time, it can come in as a carousel. Content is never dead. In social media management, we call it content is king. You can repurpose a content, you can recycle it. All right. So analytics will give you that edge, will give you that total control to know that, oh, this type of content is doing well. Maybe entertaining, maybe your client, your audience, they are more interested in you for jumping on trends. You now say, okay, oh, these people are more interested in trends. So you send your message in the next month, next coming month, you would you would do more of trends while still passing your message as a brand. Then we have strategy and growth. So, like I said, you cannot just accept a client and start posting today, right? There are always processes when you accept a client or when you're, be it freelancing, be it in house, you must have a strategy and you must have a growth plan. All right, in 6 months, if you are working for a startup company, your strategy and your growth plan should be okay. In 6 months, we should be able to have this KPIs. The KPIs could be okay. We could have 60 followers in 6 months. Let me tell you something. Getting followers should not be your number one priority as a social media manager. The moment that becomes your goal or your priority, that's the end game for you. Your focus should not be on followers. Don't even make that mistake. Or I see most social media managers trying to make the mistake of, okay, my client is so persistent on getting followers. I want to buy followers. I want to do this one, and then you will now join pod group like me, like my page. I like your page. See, if there's anything that kills a page fast, is those pod groups where you're buying followers, buying because you are actually buying rubbish. You don't know what you are buying because as a startup or as a page that's just coming out on the internet, the main focus is building a community. That's your main purpose as a social media manager. That's why you have to come up with a strategy and a growth plan to be able to achieve your goal in 6 months. In 1 month, let me tell you something. You can be stuck on 10 followers and you start feeling bad. You don't have to feel bad because I mean, the number of people that scroll even without dropping a like on your page, your own personal page, you know that okay, not everybody's interested in until they see that you are giving value, until they see that you are showing up, until they see that you are consistent. Oh, I saw this person post yesterday. I thought, okay, let me see what are they even do, what are they even selling. So you get that is when you now say, okay, oh, I like what you say. You can if you sometimes you go to people's comment section, they'll say, oh, this thing that you said make me to follow you. I'm giving you a follow. That is how you are able to get followers. So you must come up with a proper strategy to help that brand grow. And next thing is client communication. There's a difference with how you talk to your peers, and there's a difference with how you um, communicate to clients on your client's page, right? You cannot use short letters while communicating with a client. You can't use maybe you want to write I don't know, hello, or you want to write two, like TO2, you now put two as in the numbers. No, you can't do that as a social media manager. While talking to clients, you have to respect that this is a customer, this is a client, and you have to respect them at all times. If you pursue all the clients in your, maybe you say, oh, I have strong hair, you can't talk to me anyhow. If you pursue your clients, your customer, your clients, two, three of them, say bye bye to your job. All right. Are we following? Please let me know that we are following and you all are with me and you are understanding what I'm saying. Are you following? Very good. Very good. Okay, very good. So let's move on. Let's move on. So now who hires a social media manager? Who are the people that hires a social media manager? So we have restaurants and food brands. Like I said, when I was saying, I mentioned that I worked with a restaurant, a very good restaurant in Lekki, in the heart of Lekki. Restaurants and food brands, fashion and beauty brands, real estate agents, coaches and consultants, event planners, hospitals and clinics, online stores, churches and non-profits, hotels and travel brands, Airbnbs, tech startups, interior designers, schools, and university. Everybody now wants to show themselves on the internet. Like somebody said, showing their brand to your face. Everybody wants you to see them. Everybody wants you to patronize them. These people, and because they can't do it, they need the help of a social media manager. They need you. Yes. Imagine, imagine. Sorry, a moment, guys. So imagine a a a redeemed church after the whole cameras and everything. Is it the pastor that is going to now come and post on social media manager on social media or on Instagram? No. Imagine the owner of UBA. Is it the one that will now come and post on social media? No, even their own page, his own personal page. Remind me, what's the name of this guy for UBA? He has somebody that manages his page. He has someone that manages his page, or Chicken Republic, or the owner of Chicken Republic, with as many branches as they have. Is it the owner that will now come and post on social media manager? No. Even Vicky James has a social media manager. Your Pella, he has a social media manager. Everybody has a social media manager because not everybody understands the dynamics of posting. You will see a brand that doesn't have a social media manager and a brand that has a social media manager, there is always a clear difference because you as a business owner, you just decide to post today. I want to just post what I'm selling today. And when you go through the caption, come and buy what I'm selling, full stop. That's where the caption ends. Come and buy what I'm selling. Whereas a social media manager would put out your brand, write out a very sweet, delicious caption, and the CTA will still bring you back to buying what they are selling. You get that's the difference with having a social media manager. A social media manager beautifies your page, makes it look good, makes it look appealing with the caption. Yeah. So yes, either of these brands, these are the people that actually lead the services of a social media manager. So let's give a real example. Chichi's Bakehouse. Now you can see that I broke it into four parts. We have the brand, we have the problem, we have how a social media manager step in, and 3 months later. Now, Chichi has a cake business in Lekki, yeah, Lagos. She has 800 Instagram followers, maybe based on her number of years of posting on Instagram. Now, Chichi bakes incredible cakes, but she hates posting on social media. Her page is inconsistent. Maybe she'll post today, the next time she'll post maybe next month, right? That's a red flag for social medias. That's a very red flag. If you're not consistent, the algorithm will not even think about you. For the 1 billion of people that uses Instagram, you are maybe you are the 1 billionth person, self, right? And then sometimes she'll post once in a week, or sometimes she'll just disappear for 2 weeks, she'll just disappear for a month. Now she now Chichi has to do something to save her brand. She hires a social media manager that she has said, okay, I'm going to pay you 100,000 naira for you to manage my brand. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I need to plug in my laptop. All right. So she hires a social media manager for 100,000 naira. Now the social media manager steps in, creates a content calendar, designs 16 posts per month. 16 posts per month will give us 4 posts per week, right? 4 posts per week. She writes captions, responds to every DM that comes to Chichi's pages, either on Instagram or on TikTok. The social media manager will answer them. And then at the end of the month, the social media manager will send a report to Chichi and say, oh, this is how your page performed. This is what we're able to do. This was the number of people that made inquiries about your business, right? That way, Chichi is able to track what's happened on her social media page. She's happy, right? She's happy. And then the result could be that in 3 months, Chichi already has 3,000 followers. She has her DMs up to 400%. Maybe there are two corporate orders worth 350,000 naira that came directly from Instagram. And Chichi just bakes while the social media manager handles the rest. Now, that is what a social media manager does. Chichi doesn't need to learn Instagram. She does not need to learn how to do design. She does not need to learn how to edit videos. She didn't even need to learn Canva. She just needs somebody who already knew how. And that person gets paid every month just to show up for her business. And that's the opportunity I'm talking about tonight. Are we following? Are we following? Are we here? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So let's move forward. Do we understand? Are we understanding what I'm saying? I hope I'm not speaking French. All right, guys. All right, so let's move forward. So next we have next on our slide we have the platforms that Chichi where the whole magic happens. So as we all know, social media management, social media is broad, right? It doesn't happen in just one place. There are multiple platforms on the internet, and each one of them has its own personality, its own audience, and its own rules. Yes, Instagram's rule is different from TikTok. TikTok's rule is different from Twitter. So like that with LinkedIn, right? And as a social media manager, you have to understand their dynamics. You have to understand how each of these platform works. But if the truth is, you don't have to manage all of this. You don't have to master all of them at once. You need to identify your clients, where your client's brand is more capable with, or most brands requires just Instagram and TikTok. Most brands just requires you to use Facebook and Instagram. Yes. So once you understand, you would know which one is which one. Now for Instagram, okay. So for Instagram, the style there is a visual. It's a visual style platform. Visuals in the sense that you see videos, you see pictures, right? And the type of content that goes for Instagram is photos, reels, stories, and carousels. Carousels are pictures of like 5 to 10 pictures. Those slides that you're able to slide on Instagram, those are what we call carousels. Then single posts, it could either be graphics, it could either be videos. And then Instagram is best for fashion brands, food brands, beauty. lifestyle brands and small businesses and even fitnesses. All right, because people has to see. We have to see fashion. You have to show your fashion. Food, appetizing food. Most people look for restaurants from Instagram. It's more easier to find a restaurant on Instagram than to look for it on TikTok. Am I right? Now, if you are trying to look for a restaurant or anything, and somebody says, "Oh, go to this restaurant, they are very good," the best place to go and search up a restaurant real quick is Instagram. All right. Okay. So, like I said, each of this platform with their dynamics, and for Instagram, we have about 1 billion plus users, and the average age that uses Instagram is age 80 to 34 years. Yes, you will find most of our 50-year old, 60 years old, mostly on what platform? Let's see who knows that. What platform will you find age 50, 60? What platform? Type your answers in the group. I'm watching. I'm not going to say the answer. Oh, it's even showing there now. It's even showing there. Facebook. Yes, that's where our mommies and our daddies are. They're on Facebook. So wherever we have